Hello and welcome to our new short Australian building series, I suppose, where I'm going to build a small zoo in the Australian setting. We're going to start with fixing this part. There we go. So this is just going to be a few episodes of me sort of, building habitats in each of the themes and maybe showcasing every animal a little bit. Nothing huge, because I've already done a few build mode, like a few full-on zoos, and to be honest, after a while they just all look the same, I feel like. I do a lot of individual habitat building, so if you're actually interested in that, there is a series for that. But for me personally, whenever I place down a lot of stuff, it all starts looking the same. And they have these gorgeous pre-builds, like, look at this! I love it. I truly do. It's gorgeous. I don't know why it needs this huge quarantine center, but if the visitors didn't hate it, I would just randomly pop these in the middle of nowhere, because they genuinely look good. And we're gonna go a little bit with an sort of abandoned village outback theme, because that's really what this is aiming towards. If you ask me, like all the pieces you get and such, they sort of give you that idea, right? So I'm gonna go with that. I don't know, maybe there's another secret theme that I can't unravel, but I've decided to go with this one. So make sure that we get water and the stuff. Yeah, I was planning on doing the scenarios, but I couldn't because they're bugged. They're very, very buggy right now. Like on the date of game release, they are very, very buggy. I don't really know when this video is gonna come up, so just disclaimer, I'm talking about the release date. And because we're only gonna have like 4 or 5 animals in this zoo, we might as well do it properly, right? There are new Australian fences, which are these. There's like rustic fence and these 2 actual farm fences, which are cool. Like, I'm not kidding, that's pretty cool. Because once in a while we actually have like proper normal metal fencing, which I like. Because, I felt like whenever you were doing like sort of a conservation zoo, like a zoo that's about conservation won't really care about the way its walls look. Like, yes, it's supposed to have walls that keep the animals in, but they don't have to look pretty. If all they're supposed to do is keep the animals in, why would you worry about having pretty walls with 50 pieces of detail and everything? That's just a waste of money. So, yeah. I suppose I'm gonna do like the front area in like this style, and then in the back we're gonna have some more tropical pieces, because we do have the cassowaries and the koalas. Which, by the way, are really, really great, in case you haven't seen my pack announcement video. Everyone already knew that it was there. My pack showcase, I suppose, where I showcased the pack. Yes, that is how showcase is put in. I love the new really, really red sand that they got here. I mean, obviously they have to, it's Australia, but still. I don't actually know why the sand in Australia is this red. I'm gonna assume iron. Just a lot of iron. I mean, that's why most stuff is red in nature. Iron. I once went hiking and there was a literally red river. Like, the river was red. The water in the river was red because of the iron. There's so many like small stones that had iron in them, were like loose essentially. On a separate note, there are going to be additional builds for the Steam workshop for each of these animals. So just because I'm featuring them here doesn't mean that I won't be doing a Steam workshop build for them. That was just something I wanted to say. In case any of the people who are looking for my Steam Workshop builds are worried about them not existing, they will exist. Don't worry. Okay, next we need a gate. Sadly, there's no new gate pieces or anything like that, so we're still gonna have a tiny piece of wood here because that's how the world works. But we can turn this into null barrier, and we can turn these into null barriers. Just gotta make sure we actually connect everything. Which may or may not be difficult. Depending on how stupid we are today. Oh, I just wanted to make... Thank you. No, that was the wrong one. No. Anyway. I don't really know how to do this. Because I put this in a really, really weird position. Okay, there we go. You know, there's slightly layered fence. That's fine. That's normal for Australia. We're on a farm. No one really cares about the fencing. Okay, that's too bad. No one cares about the fencing on an old abandoned farmhouse. Or at least I think that no one does. I've never seen anyone. Hey, what are you doing? Like, it's just one step. I didn't do both of these things at the same time. Sometimes I feel like Planet Zoo is just not realizing what's going on. Okay, let's see if work zones work in the normal game. When I was trying to play the scenarios, the work zones didn't work, which was one of the major issues that I had. Like, it wouldn't recognize certain buildings, so the staff couldn't use those buildings, so the staff couldn't do anything. But it looks like we're okay right now, so I hope that it's doing all right. So with the Australian pack we got these new wood pieces, and we got these corrugated iron wall pieces. There is also these iron sheets and iron roofs and everything. Some nice paneling, you know, everything to make your place look old and rustic and really, really dead. What are they using here? Like, what is this? And because I mean the rusted metal rods are cool, but what are these pieces? I'm just... Yeah, what is this? An Australia log. Okay. It's literally called an Australia log. Ah, there they go. There you go. I was trying to get these to sort of have like an entrance area for our little lodge object here. But this is obviously going to be... I'm sort of trying to stick with the building style of the buildings in the back, since, you know, this is all going to be pretty cohesive in its most basic of aspects. For those of you who don't know, who've been sleeping, I don't know where, for the last 10 years, no, it's not been out that long. This pack comes with koalas, cassowaries, southern cassowaries, dingoes, and koalas, kangaroos. I was mentioning koalas twice. I like koalas. I have to mention this one. And, well, that's the 4 animals we're gonna build a home for. There's also one habitat animal, who would have guessed. One exhibit animal, which is a blue-tongued lizard. No snake. I was hoping for a snake. I'm being honest, I was hoping for a snake. I like snakes, and Australia is like the continent of snakes. And spiders and such, but nope. Nothing. Which, you know, that's okay. Really. I like to be able to place these objects in the same group. Just for the sake of my own sanity. Like, just originally, I can always move it down, but to ensure that we're actually at about the same level of heights with everything. There we go. And now, oh no, now if I want to move this. That was a stupid move because I can only detach single pieces. Why am I so... whatever. So we're gonna have to separate all of these and move them down. Anyways, and yeah, it comes with quite a few nice additions. I mean, with cassowaries we get more birds, which is always good because the game doesn't have a lot of birds, really. We've got like what, flamingos, peafowl, and the ostriches. That's it in the base game. Which, you know, I'm still very sad that we don't have aviaries, but at the very least, now we have more birds, and these are like large birds, and they're also jungle birds. We didn't have yet, so they live in a jungle biome, in a tropical biome. Quite fitting. With Australia, we've got animals that fit into almost every biome that you can find in Australia. Which is also pretty cool, because, you know, now there's no like, no matter what terrain you sort of build your zoo in, you can always get an Australian animal in. Except for, I suppose, the frozen tundra. That's going to be a bit of a problem if you want to have Australian animals in that, but just build them a house. Just, you know, do it. I'm gonna just remove any excess fencing and sort of try to lay that right into the wall. There we go. If possible, so that we have like somewhat straight lines here. Which really shouldn't be an issue to begin with, because this whole build should just be pretty much straight lines. And then... okay, so they just... yeah, it's mostly just roofs that are pulled up. I'm still trying to, you know, do these roofs in a way that they are done over there, so... actually, I should probably lower this whole thing down, right? So that it's like a front roof. Oh. Boop, bitty boop. And then I'm gonna start a second layer of roof with maybe 2 meter high ones. It's really quite hard to decide what you're doing, because obviously DC would work well. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do a 2 meter corrugated iron roof. I just place it on top of these. I can do it like this, that should work out too. Because technically speaking, all of these things should still be aligned. There we go. And then we're gonna do another one of these layers over here. And for the middle portion, we're gonna do a flat roof, I think. Me and roofs don't get along, so if this looks weird, that's because it's me building a roof. That's completely normal. Don't worry about it. Not the game's fault, it's just me trying to build a roof. That's at fault. This doesn't have to be very well constructed. It's in the middle of nowhere in Africa. Australia, it's okay. It can look a little broken. And they're using a lot of these pieces in like grayish to fit in here. A orange, grayish color that would fit in somewhat. He said and created the ugliest color known to mankind. It may be ugly, but I created it. Then we need one for the middle, which is actually just a 2 meter high panel. And over here it's, yeah. Oh no, it's not straight. Two-meter piece, that's a 2-meter piece. And that's another piece. Well, it looks acceptable, I think. This is gonna be the little trademark den for our animals. But you know, it's actually supposed to be a den, so den, a farmhouse. And I suppose for a farmhouse it's okay. Not that I'm trying to make farmhouses look bad, just I just made a big error because as well. It's just, you know, very simplistic, which is okay. It's supposed to be simplistic. Oh, we didn't get any windows and doors. I didn't even notice that until now, but there are no windows or doors, in fact, in this pack. They were just like, this is Australia, they don't have doors. Pretty sure they do, but... yeah, because until now every pack came with doors and windows, and this pack is just like, no, we don't do packs and doors. Love these signs, they're so creative. It's just a huge wooden map. Oh, these are pretty. Sorry, I just discovered this pack. I haven't had this pack for that long either. I'm mostly looking at things for the first time now. These are Zupedia frames, but I actually think that they're also perfect to be like old window frames. You know, like they were windows once, but now we buried them because we want to defend ourselves from evil animals. I don't know. And watch out dingoes, you know. This koala sign is gorgeous. A light. We have this gorgeous koala light, and we have these slightly weird lamp posts and these wall lights, which I'm just going to place 2 of around here. It's a very, very creative mixture of things this time. There's these wooden pallets, which are perfect for just about anything. There's sweet wooden posts that I don't really know why they'd be there. And there's these things, which, yeah. And there's this fence here, which is great. I like that fence. Nothing else though, so it's a pretty boring space as of yet. But we're gonna put our dingoes in there. Dingoes, dingoes. There. You can have a pretty big group of dingoes, so that's what we're gonna go for. There's 1 alpha male and 1 alpha female. But other than that, I think you can have a decently sized group actually. Dingoes. Yep, up to 12. Oh, we've got 5 right now that are going to move. I forgot to bury it. Yeah, that's what happens when you get a new expansion pack and you're really happy about the new expansion pack and then you forget how to play the game. Don't be me, kids. That's bad. For your health and your sanity and everything else too. But yeah, this is like the old farm that these dingoes have taken over. That's the whole lore behind these things. I usually try to find some sort of story behind most of my habitats, you know, like why are there dingoes here, or why are animals in this habitat? Why does it look the way it looks? And I think for this one that's a pretty easy one because, you know, like old farm that was abandoned and then the dingoes found it and now they live in it. Done. Probably very, very common. I don't know, I'm not from Australia. I don't have dingoes. Never been to Australia either, so... something else that we got that's new, which I really, really like, are food vending machines. Yeah. All of these. So we're obviously gonna get some. I want to sell pip shot smoothies. And ice cream. That ice cream, it looks like it looks like cupcakes. He sells ice cream in cups like these in a vending machine. That's donuts, that's okay. Can't see the fries, can't see the pizza. Can't really see much. Also, did we get Australian toilets? Yes, we did. And they're gorgeous. I'm sorry, but I really like these toilets. Okay. So this is our dingo who's already sick. Vet, come help us. The dingo is sick. Also, I'm gonna do a little bit of water just around here. She said and made a huge lake. The animals need access to water. Okay. They really do. I don't know if this is soil or sand. This is sand? Yeah, this is sand. We're gonna have actual soil around the area where the house is though. Maybe like a few sprinkles. So this is gonna be less of a building thing and more of a just showing off the animals and the new features. Zoo. Because I wanted to, and because I can. So, dingoes come with some really great new toys, in case you haven't seen those yourself yet. One of which is a literal pool. Yes, you heard me right. Dingoes get a pool. Which this one just ran through, but apparently it's a toy. I'm still a little confused by the fact that the Piñata enrichment is a zebra for all the animals. Even the ones who wouldn't have, you know, zebras. But that's okay. There's also this bubble machine that I really, really love. It's just always obstructed. And the dog toy. Are you guys happy yet? Yeah. Okay, also another thing you'll notice is that they now have white, orange, sandy fur and white, orange. Do I have any that aren't white, orange so far? I don't know. Yellow, orange, sandy fur. They have fur differences. I haven't seen it in many animals yet, so I can't tell you how severe it is, but the basic idea is that, you know, you can actually differentiate the animals by that. And it will also tell you if an animal is cystic. I always want to call them shinies, if you get a shiny. Which technically speaking I suppose isn't wrong, but you know, they're not actually called shinies, so there's no reason for me to call them that. These are Eucalyptus Trains. These are little bushes, which come in bright green and not so bright green, depending on how dead you want your countryside to be. Which is also something I like, you know, they went in for that detail. And yeah, those of you who know me know that I really, really like the desert biome. And was always quite a bit sad by how few desert animals we have. So I'm actually quite happy about the fact that there's a few more that can be used for the desert biome now. You know, where you can use the desert plants and such, because they're great. There's just so few reasons to use them, because you don't really have animals from this biome. I mean, like, I could probably count the ones we have on one hand. Where there's the Bactrian camel. The one I can think of right now is the Bactrian camel. Proves how much I play this game, right? Bactrian camel. Yeah, most of them just like up pure grassland, so I suppose no. I mean, yeah, you could kind of put the African elephant in there. Then there's dingoes, there's Gamsbox. Fair enough, there are Gamsbox. But I think that's just about it, right? Yeah, that's literally it. We had like 2 animals that were in the desert biome. So now we have some, at least. It's still not like a huge amount, but it's enough to make a difference. It's enough to warrant actually building a zoo in the style of the desert biome. Because like before that was always annoying because none of the animals would fit the biome. You know, like, why would you build a desert zoo if none of the animals would actually be desert animals? But now you can actually have desert animals, so I suppose building a zoo like this makes more sense. Which is great, because I like this theme and this, like, idea of zoos. I like all of these spiky plants and everything. It's very, very... No, don't float up there. Very nice. Even though, you know, it might look like a slightly hostile environment that you probably don't want to live in, deserts can be quite pretty. You just have to ignore the part where you probably die and starve real quick if you don't know what you're doing. But that's actually the case for a lot of biomes, we just never think about it as much, I think. I mean, just consider having to live in the jungle or something. You wouldn't be very much better than you would be here. At least you wouldn't die from heat stroke in like 2 seconds. I mean, you probably would. Australia, like, I don't think the hottest part of the world is in Australia, but I think they're pretty well known for being a little on the hotter side. Because they have a very, very thin remaining ozone layer. Which, you know, really isn't not just their fault. I think they're just in a bad place for the ozone layer. Which, yeah, I mean, I guess someone got unlucky, right? Yes. Oh. Oh. They're using the model from the Timber and Arctic Wars. So, I don't know. Everything they do is already so familiar. Although I suppose they must have given them new animations for the new toys that are now a thing. Such as the bubble machine. Why do these dogs get a bubble machine when I don't get a bubble machine? That's not okay. I have to file a complaint about that. No, but they're, you know, they're really pretty animals. Take a look at them actually while we're here. Yeah. Obviously not as fluffy as their Nordic companions, but that makes sense, because otherwise those animals would be dead by now, just because of the heat. Anyways, that's gonna be it, I think, for this episode. The scenario mode will be coming up as soon as it's patched to a point where I can actually play it without it crashing. And yeah, I'll just be uploading episodes of this regularly now, until I've got a nice small zoo. So I hope you like it, and I hope I'll see you again soon.